the summer of 2020. It was a good summer, you know, did a bunch of things teenagers do, ride four-wheelers, fish, stuff like that. Just enjoyed life, worked, did a little bit of landscaping, cutting grass, doing odd and end things for the neighbors to get some money. And life was pretty good, you know, everything was going well, and I never thought something like this would happen. We had been going to the beach a lot that summer, and started feeling like I was overeating. So, you know, I was like, all right, gonna try and get my diet straight, start eating better, and try and cut back on the food, and maybe that'll help. Because I just always got this feeling that I was just full all the time, and especially after every meal, it hurt, and I just feel like I ate way too much. And, you know, I'd be smacking down on like them quarter pounders, like 2 of them, boy, eating. So I was like, man, I just need to take it easy, quit eating so much. So I did that, and it didn't seem to do much. So I started changing my diet and cutting back on food, and I began working out. And I started running, and I could do a mile in 6 minutes, and I was getting pretty decent. And I'd run just about 5 miles every day after that point. And I enjoyed working out, and I was getting good shape, and I got my weight up from 132 all the way to 143, I believe, or it was 146. I had to give y'all the exact number. And I just started getting worse, and I mean, I'd be at the point I'd be working at the farm, and I hurt so bad I'd be duffled over on the plow. I'd have to stop and just be in the fecal position. I was hurting so bad. And we were trying different things to figure out what's going on with me. Never did really go to the doctor though. I didn't think there was nothing they could do for me. I talked to my parents, friends, and whatnot, and we tried different over-the-counter medicines to see if it'd help, and nothing would help, and the pains kept getting worse and worse. So finally I decided to go to the doctor about it. Went to a doctor, and they thought it was constipation, put me on laxatives for a week. That made it even worse. And they sent me over to a hospital to get an MRI and all that good x-ray stuff. And they're like, looks like you got a little intestine issues or something. Maybe like, didn't really know what was going on quite yet, so they sent me to a GI doc. That GI doctor was horrible, man. He had ran somebody over with a car, left them on the side of the road, and left and got caught. And he just wasn't a good doctor, and he was like, slight possibility it may be Crohn's disease. And when we had talked to one of our family friends, you know, they thought it could have been that, because that's one of the things that popped up on Google, but we all were like, nah, it can't be that. And we were wrong. And the doctor, he was like, all right, you're gonna have to get a colonoscopy and endoscopy, so I'm gonna give you medicine. And I was on 50 milligrams of steroids a day. Your body only makes about 1 milligram, so I was on a lot of steroids. I was taking almost 20 pills a day. Won't get no better. And I just always felt like I was never making progress. If anything, I felt like I was getting worse. And I started getting a pain in my stomach up here. So I told him, and I went back to the doctor one evening and then talked to him about it. And he just gave me some stuff to take before I ate. He was like, try this. And then he kind of was like, thought I was lying when I was telling him where I was hurting. It's almost like he didn't believe me. And this is when things went down. It went south quick. We had been prepping at the farm, getting ready for hunting season and whatnot, trying to get ready to kill some biggin that year. Things just didn't quite line up the way I wanted them to, but that's how life goes. God has plans for all of us, and we just don't know what those plans are. After I started taking these medicines he put me on, I felt like I won't get no better. And this is when things changed. One day, felt like I was just hurting real bad. I could tell something wasn't right with my body. every time I move, I was hurting, and I just sucked it up because I had that colonoscopy and all coming up. But take this back. This was after the colonoscopy and endoscopy. This was my first colonoscopy and endoscopy. So I got my colonoscopy and endoscopy, and it was rough. That night, I was throwing up. I was pooping at the same time, diarrhea. It was horrible. One of the worst experiences of my life right there was that first colonoscopy and endoscopy. I think it's because my stomach was already tore up. I don't know what it was, but it made my situation like 10 times worse. So this is one of three colonoscopies, endoscopies I got. And this was definitely the worst one. The prep was just horrible. I couldn't stomach it. And I got the colonoscopy and endoscopy. He was like, we took some biopsy, we sent it off, see if you have Crohn's. It looks like you have some signs of it and some irritation in your bowels. What is Crohn's disease? Well, Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease. So basically, your body's way of healing is sending inflammation to fight. It's basically blood cells. And when you have Crohn's disease or something like colitis, your own body starts attacking itself. Well, when it gets bad enough, you can have very bad issues like your intestine perforate like mine did. So it can be very bad. They gave me more medicines to take, and didn't get no better. And then this one, we were going to ride four-wheelers and whatnot, and we got to the farm, and you know, I've been hurting all day. The next day, it was 2 days I went on hurting like that. The next day, when we went to go ride, got there, I went to go throw out some seed on the four-wheeler. Every bump I hit, stomach would hurt. Cause we were planting food plots, and you know, after you plow a field, it ain't always the smoothest. So every bump I hit, no matter what, it hurt. And we ended up having a good time. I sucked it up, went through the pain, buried the four-wheeler. And I had to walk about 500 yards, maybe more. It was a good ways to get a chain. I remember about halfway through, my stomach started hurt so bad I thought I was just gonna have to lay there the rest of the night. But I sucked it up, kept walking, got the chain, went back. We spent about 5 hours trying to get that four-wheeler out, and we couldn't. My buddy Jordan showed up, and he was gonna try and help us out with his four-wheeler. He got about 2 foot in that mud, got the thing stuck. So we had to work to get him out. Got his four-wheeler out, went to load it up on his dump trailer, and he flipped the thing. Loading it up. Everybody was good and everything was all right. And I was like, all right, we'll come back tomorrow. It's the weekend. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll get this thing out. So went home. My dad had cooked steak and all for dinner. And after I ate, a little bit later, I felt horrible. I was going to get a shower because I was so muddy. Hurt so bad I couldn't even get in the shower. And I just laid down, and I was hurting so bad I was awake all night long. And I just could never get comfortable, could never make the pain go away. And about 7 o'clock that morning, I began running a fever. So a fever is a sign of infection. So I had to go to the doctor. Well, went to emergency, you know, the hospital. And they were like, took some MRI stuff, put me on, I think it was morphine, Toradol, and a few other things. And it got rid of some of the pain, but I was still hurting. Took a CAT scan, MRI, and they were like, all right, we're going to have to transport you. So this is my first ride I ever got to have in the ambulance. I'm going to have to make this a 2-part video, but I appreciate y'all watching. It took 10 hours to get the four-wheeler out. My grandpa and brother and grandma did it. They broke a 12,000-pound winch doing so. It took 3 four-wheelers, a tractor, and the winch.